Yeah. Chachamim, Shmuel. Okay. All right. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol niyeh b'dvaroi.
Not going to say good morning, brother.
Is that for me?
Because
That was for you.
it's not
So I
professional.
was holding it so it wouldn't fall.
Every day you're going to say that? There's another Avrami that thinks you're talking to
I'm
him.
not talking
This
to
year
that
has
one.
to be dedicated to the
No, each one doesn't know who you're talking
He
to.
knows what I'm talking
Akamas
about.
based on medrash. You dedicate for the Akamas based on medrash.
Let's start. We got to go.
You got to dedicate it for the Akamas based on medrash.
Which one?
The one you're building.
We'll talk. All right, we're holding up Mem Gimel and Aleph.
Rosedale family.
Yeah. If you're doing it, we'll do it today. Mem Gimel and Aleph. Top. Omer Reish Lakish. Kana bekumtoi shel Zav. This is halacha, a very unique halacha by Zav. A Zav, if he takes a stick and he moves somebody that's tahar, the tahar is tamei. If the tahar moves a Zav with a stick, the tahar is tamei. Either way, they are tamei. It's called Heses, and that's a special halacha by a Zav. Comes Reish Lakish and says, based on what we were learning yesterday about a sheret in the folds of the skin, in the armpit, Kana bekumtoi shel Zav. However, if the Zav takes that stick, again, if a Zav takes a stick and moves another person with it, he goes like this with his hand. He takes a baseball bat and shtups somebody. That guy becomes tamei. And if the guy in reverse, a tar guy, takes a baseball bat, and you guys know what a baseball bat is in England? A cricket bat. Okay, thank you. Oy vavoy. I'm serious. Rabbi, start recruiting some Americans, please. What's going on here? The Roiv is starting to become English here. What are you, Rachamim? You're American. Okay, good. Rabbi Chef, American.
He's not even English, right?
South but there's no baseball. It's cricket. Hillel Abraham, South African. It's Noirevayim. Okay, fine. I don't know what you guys come to American share. We're gonna have to find some English speaking. It's the wrong. I'm the wrong place. Yeah. He takes a cricket stick and moves a Zav. What happens if a tar? Oh, okay. So bat is a bat is a bat. Okay, good. So we don't have to say baseball or cricket. A bat. He takes a bat and he moves. If the Zav moves a tahar, the tar becomes like a Zav becomes tamei. If in reverse, the tar moves the Zav, also the tar becomes tamei because he moved the Zav. That's halach of Heses. What happens if the guy is a shoyt, he doesn't know how to hold a bat? He puts his bat over here. He goes like this. He puts it over here and he starts moving things like this. That's Rav Papa's halacha. Kana bekumtoi shel Zav. He stuck the bat in his under his arm. So it's a makim seiser. V'heisid boys hatar. And then he moves a person that's completely tahar. This is a gzeres hakosov. Basically, it doesn't fit in to this chidush that if a zav moves, what's wrong if a zav moves a human being? What kind of tum is that? Now, if you are not a zav and you move a zav, I don't need a chidush for that. Why? That's called masa. I lifted up a zav. I lifted him up off the ground. I gave him a whack with the bat. That's fine. But the reverse, there's no halacha that says that a zav lifting up another human being. So Meila, if he lifted him up, he moved him, and it was hidden, tar. Kana bekumtoi shel tar v'heised bois hazav tamei. That will remain the same thing. My taima. Oh, what's the difference? Because the pasuk, my taima do makro v'chol asher yiga boy hazav. Now there's a problem here, because right before that it talks about negiah. The pasuk beforehand. So this pasuk cannot be talking about noigeya stam. So what's v'chal sheyiga? So the Gemara says v'yodav leishota b'mayim. So we have to remember these words also. V'yodav leishota b'mayim. By the way, Rashi always learns that this is the pasuk that teaches us the halacha of netilos yadayim. So memela, but it says v'yodav leishota b'mayim, and there's hands. Zeu seito shazav. V'chal sheyiga is the halacha of Heses. Why? Again, because it cannot mean that the Zav touched, because that we learned in another pasuk that the Zav touched. So Amela is talking about the Zav moved with a stick. Shaloi metzinu loi tuma b'chol haTorah kula. This is a unique tuma that doesn't exist anywhere else. And the Torah said that he touched le'meimrod the heses. He's going to have to move, Nachman. That's it. Poor little guy. I know. I heard his voice just by. I heard it. The father-in-law and the son-in-law. Wow. What's going on here, Navi? So basically the Torah is telling us that when you move, it has to be like Niddah. And this, by the way, is the makar that Tuma Blua is no good. It has to be Yadav, it has to be exposed. Niddah ki Yadav, it has to be like Yadav le'shotav b'mayim. What kind of hands do you wash? Something that's exposed. So the Heses also has to be exposed. Putting a bat under your arm is not exposed in Memela. A Zav doesn't make another person tummy. Mahasa me'abroi, afacha me'abroi. It has to be outside. It can't be hidden.
So how come the Torah guy,
Oh,
is the Zav?
because that's masa. That's a different halacha. That's a halacha, not of Heses, of masa. That's the difference. A Zav has a special halacha of Heses. He moves another person. Moving another person, that's a special, unique chiddush in the Torah, and that has to be open. But when a tar moves tamei, so he's moving tamei. That's masa. A tamei person moving something that's tar, that's not masa. What does he move? He's lifting tar. Okay, that's not what masa is. Masa means lifting an object that is tamei gives you tumah. So if you are tahar and you move a tamei object such as a zav with a bat that's exposed or not exposed, there's no difference. You lifted something that's tamei. For instance, if I take a piece of meat and I put it in my throat and it's tamei, and I move up and down like this, do I become tamei? Yes. Why? Because it's in Beis HaStarim, and masa in Beis HaStarim is mitamami. Maga is not, masa yes. So if I have a bat under my arm and it's masa, and I move something that's tamei, I'm moving tamei, I'm moving a zav. What's the difference if I move the zav over there, or I put a piece of meat in my mouth and I go like this? Both of them, I'm moving an object that's tamei, so both of them, I don't need a pasuk for that. The pasuk is in the reverse, that the object that is tamei is moving something that is tar. That's not included in masa. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a special chiddush called heses. Heses has to be exposed. It cannot be. Okay, that's the difference. I appreciate that you brought up again, so like this, it's clearer now, I think. Muvar. Aval azov ubal keri einom tmei mitamim. It has to come out, it says in the Mishnah, that a zav, a male is different than a female. We said that is a little crooked. A woman, we said, maybe Gary has to, what's going on here? A isha, as soon as it goes into Bais Achitzoy, we said, she is tamei. But a ish, it has to come out of his guf. Zav d'chsiv ki yeh zav mibsaroi, has to come out of his basar, at sheyetze zoiver mibsaroi. Remember, by a woman it says ba basar, in the flesh. Over here it's mi basar, outside. Balkari d'chsiv ish ki seitze mimenu shichva zer, has to come out of him. This is your sugya here, so pay attention. Yaakov likes this stuff.
That was like below the belt.
Ouch, Abrami. No, I'm just saying you have to pay attention now. Yeah. It says, what does it say in the Mishnah? If a person feels that the zera is about to come out of his guf, he must prevent it from coming out and swallow the truma. For the Gemara, how could he hold on to his aver? You're not allowed to do that. It's as if you brought the mabel to the world, explains Rashi, and we had in the sugya in the beginning of Niddah, that the whole reason of Dar HaMabel was because ki hishchis kol basar. What does basar mean? Because they held on to the aver. That was the avera of the generation. Amar Abaye b'matlas ova. So Abaye says he's talking about a thick cloth. There's no issue anymore. There's no chimum. Rava Amar afilu tei b'matlas rako. Kivin the okar. So Rava is mechulek and he says once the zera is dislodged, he can't be over on a greater isser. It's dislodged from the guf, and he's not going to create more zera levatala. So Mamela, it doesn't matter what kind of cloth he holds on to. So we're talking about it was already dislodged, right? We're talking about a person what? No, it has to come out of his guf. Very good. By zera, you only become a balker, you only become tummy once it comes out of the guf. There's an akira, it was dislodged from its makam in its body, it goes to another compartment, and from there it comes out. But it was dislodged, meaning a certain amount came out, and that's the amount that's going to come out. So regardless if you use a matlas, what?
Regarding to the truma, doesn't make a difference as long as
Right. Regarding the truma, tumas haguf, he's not going to be tummy until it comes out. Abaye says it's possible to make additional zera come out. Since once it's dislodged, it's impossible to have another emission. Botanya, we learned, what is zera similar to? A person puts his finger in his eye, there's no end to the amount of tears a person can create. So as long as the fingers in the eye, more tears will come out, so too, more zera will come out. Basically, Rashi says here, not exactly sure how it works. He says if there was a maisa of akira, it was dislodged, so we're not choshesh for any more zera. But if a person is oisik and he continues to hold on to the aver, he could create a situation where there's more and more and more. That's what he says. If it's one act and the act is over, then to get to the next act is impossible right away. There has to be a certain period. But if he's within the act, he can make it come out more and more. Okay. Omar Shmuel. If a person doesn't have a sensation in his entire body, then it's not a zera that fertilizes. Zera will come out, but it's not a fertilized zera. My taima, shichva zera marachmona. It has to be zera, in other words, a fertilized zera. Beru'uya lahazriya. Meisvei, hoy mahar balaylo, if a person had thoughts at night. And he found the zever cham, tome. Even though he didn't find zera, but since it's cham, you have to assume that together with his hirur, and it was at night, there was some zera and it got lost.
If a person was sterile, would it be like less of a problem?
Of tuma?
No, sterile.
Zera?
No, it's not called shifcha zera.
Yeah.
Sterile.
Right. Why would it be shifcha zera? Well, that goes into the whole thing here, and I think that's a little bit of explanation. I don't want to go into it so much, but what does it mean that he didn't feel his whole guf? Because basically there's a certain mixture that happens. It's like different chemicals get together. So it's possible that zera comes out, fluids come out, and it's not fertilized fluids because he didn't have the sensation in his guf. Yeah, but to answer your question, the isser is destroying zera, not fluids. The person is just sterile, it's not zera.
what Shmuel is saying is enough gemina for truma.
Where are you?
Shmuel
Yes.
There's enough gemina for truma.
For anything. For tuma. For tuma. In other words, it's possible for zera to come out and not being tummy at all, says Shmuel. So now we're going to have three lashonis in Shmuel. How's it possible? If a person doesn't have argosha in his whole body, you have to have a argosha. It's not just the physical zera coming out. Tirgima. So what do we do with this hearer at night? You see that he didn't have argoshas. Tirgima Rav Huna b'meshamish mitazi b'chaloimoy. He in his dream he had tashmish. The efshar l'shamish b'le argosha. So it's impossible. So he really did have argosha, says the Gemara. He had argosha, he just doesn't know about it because he was sleeping. Lishna achrino, and therefore he's tamei. Because if there was a mission without argosha, then he wouldn't be tamei according to Shmuel, because it has to be zera, roy for fertilization. Lishna achrino, another lashon in Shmuel. Omer Shmuel kos shikva zera she'ena yorik hachetz, ena mitama. It has to come out forcefully, otherwise it's not mitama. What is the practical difference between the two lashonos? And we're going to see a third lashon soon. v'yatsa shaloi b'argosha. In other words, how do you read these words? The akira, it dislodged from his body from the makar of the zera into this compartment. And then for some reason, it came out below argosha. Below argosha, the Gemara means not like a chetz. It didn't come, it trickled out. It didn't come out forcefully. And memela what? So if you say that the ikr is the hargosha, so you had hargosha, so it's fertilized zera, he's tummy. But if you say the ikr is the force that it comes out, so we don't care that he had hargosha, it didn't come out forcefully, maybe he can't impregnate a woman, scientifically, whatever, it just trickled out, it's not strong enough to fertilize. And memela, he's not tummy. So the Gemara milsa de pshita le Shmuel miboy le Rava. Something that, according to these two lashonos, was pashut. They're not the same. Each lashon says something else. The first lashon says you have to have argosha. The second lashon says it has to be yorik achet. But it was pashut to Shmuel. Either way, it was certain to him. Rava had a question. By Rava, nekra b'hargosha v'yatzisa shaloi b'hargosha ma'u. What if you have one and not the other? You have hargosha, a sensation, but you don't have the force. Toshma balkari shetov v'leit l'mayim. We had this halacha. You have a balkari who goes into the mikvah, and before he went to the mikvah, he forgot to go to the bathroom. And we're concerned that maybe the zera is still inside, and later on he'll go to the mikvah, but he still has zera. And when he goes to the bathroom, he's going to go to the bathroom together with zera. He's going to become tummy again. Balkari shetov v'leit l'mayim l'kishiyotov mayim tummy. He is tummy again. Oh, but when you go to the bathroom, Rabbi side, there's zero sensation. There's no sensation of zera. It's going to the bathroom sensation. So why should he become tummy? According to Shmuel, you need, according to Rav Shaila, is argosha enough? Well, you see, you don't need it. You don't need argosha because about carries tummy. Says Gemara, no, shani hasam deruba argosha nofak. What are you talking about? There was a sensation. 10 minutes ago, there was a sensation. So that is zera of sensation, and a little bit of it is left in him, and it comes out later without sensation. But it's zera of sensation. It's zera of argosha. Listen, Achrina, third lashon. It has to. It's not going to a physical thing. It's not going to impregnate somebody. Fine. He's not talking about tumah. Even if it doesn't come out kechetz, it's still metama. Shenemar kievach ish ashelo yetor mikrei. Afilu keri boilam. It doesn't matter. Keri is keri. Whether it comes out kechetz, doesn't come out forcefully. But in terms of fertilization, it's not going to fertilize. But it's still metama. Bayi Rava. So now the Gemara asks three amazing kashas. I don't know. Don't know. What does the Shulchan Aruch bring here? It says nekro b'hargosha. That's where the Shulchan Aruch is. So it goes by Akira maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing. Amazing. You have a guy in the process of gerus. He says to himself, "Let me do one more avera," and he has the hargosha while he's a guy, and the hitzah zera after he comes out of the mikvah. So what is it? Is it goy shezera, which is not metam at all? He had the akira when he was a goy, so there's no tamei, or does it go by the end? These are all questions in halacha. Like, how do you view hitzah zera? Where does it occur? Does it occur? You hear the shaila. It's an amazing shaila because you have an akira. It's a place you can't go back from, but it never came out of the guf. So maybe that's where it happened. Or no, it has to come out of the guf. You see, tumah only occurs after the guf. And I'm saying that it's a place you can't go back because there are things not you can't go back, but you can't even control. Whereas versus, let's say, mereglaim, you can control. Person could hold it in for an hour, as we're going to see soon.
Can you bring a raya from the fact that when he's eating truma, it says yoichas ba'ama, and he should swallow? Though there was an akira already, but you see that the Torah still tells you.
Yeah, but it's not tumah. But there's no tumah.
Right. That's the point. That's the right. That's the right. Right. It's telling you you're not matama until it actually comes
out. Yeah, but the tumah again. The tumah occurs once it goes out of guf. Nobody's mechulek on that. That's a pasuk.
Right.
No shaila. The shaila is it comes out of the guf, but from an akira that happened before. what I'm saying? We have to wait. What do you see from that?
That Akira is nothing.
Why?
You see, you could still.
No, from there you see Akira is not Metama. I never thought Akira is Metama. I'm saying that the Akira, it happened by the Akira, and you have to wait until it comes out of the guf.
Right. So then what are we asking?
I'm asking that the Akira happened at the wrong place. It happened when he was a guy. Zera of a guy is not Metama. Then it came out a half hour later when he's a Jew. But what came out from the Jew? A goyish zera came out from the Jew. There's Akira, it went into a room somewhere and it's waiting in the room. Now what's in that room? Goyish zera or Jewish zera?
How's it going, Sarah? His whole body got converted.
Yeah, but the zera came out when he's a Jew. So what are you saying? Is Jewish zera or Goyish zera? What?
Jewish Sarah.
Jewish zera? No, but it dislodged from his body before. It dislodged from his body before.
Sticking on him.
It was inside in some compartment.
What would be if she was pregnant?
Who? We're talking about a man.
If it was a girl, she was pregnant before.
Yeah.
No such a thing. Sting
Gave birth after she was in the mikveh.
Oh, that we had that. We had that Shiloh last week.
Isn't it the same case?
No.
It's in her body, our body.
No, it's different. We want to know if the zera in the body, but it's in a compartment, dislodged from its place. It went from where it usually is, the zera, the sperm is in a certain compartment, and it moves. It dislodges once he has a sensation, it dislodges, goes to another compartment. Then it has to come out. It shoots out, but that has nothing to do with the dislodge. Dislodge is where it uproots from the guf. Zok the Gemara. Intim tzaloim abasa kiraz linon. If we think that it goes by the dislodging, hani mili lechumra. That's to say that where there's a chumrah, then we say, okay, even when it dislodged. But over here, when we say that it goes by the dislodging, what do we want to say? That the zera is not tameh because it's goyish zera, and goyish zera is not metame. So it's a kula, and maybe we don't use that concept likula. Or maybe we just use the concept at all times, even if it's a kula teiku. By Rava, zava shenekru memi raglel. Meraglayim by a zava is what? Avatuma. Nekru, I'm not 100% sure what it means. Maybe she feels like she has to go to the bathroom. I don't know what nekru means. It goes into the bladder. It goes somewhere. It goes from one place into another place. Mr. Rabbi Schoenberg, I see you looking at me like you have shot. What does nekru mean? Bladder? Something like that. Sensation of bathroom. Fine. V'yarda v'tav lo mahu. It never came out of her guf. So how do we view this Meir Aglaim? Do we view it as a male's zera, that it could stay in the guf, but once it's dislodged, it could stay in the guf, we don't care where it is, but it's out of his guf ki'ilu, ligabe, the time that it happened. So this zava, she has Meir Aglaim, and if it comes out of her guf, it's avatuma. And if it stays within her, let's say, her wherever it is, it's produced, it's nothing. But once it's nekar, what do we view it as? The yard of a tavlamau. She went to the mikvah, she's tar. But maybe she's not tar because within her, she has ziva meraglaim that's metamer, like toivo v'sheres biyadai. Intin salema basa kira as linon, hani mili shechva. Maybe you can make a distinction between zera and meraglaim de l'motzi nokadlo. A person cannot hold it back, it's out of his control. Ava meraglaim, maybe meraglaim de l'motzi nokadlo, loy. Maybe from the fact that she could hold it back for a pretty long period of time, so it's not considered that came out of her guf. Maybe there's no difference. Once it's nekar, it's nekar. And memelo what? Now you have ziva, meraglaim in her. And then after, if it comes out after she went to the mikvah, she's nitma all over again. Teiku. By Rava. Goy zava, if you have a goy that's a zava. Now all goyim are zavas. There's no such thing as a goy zava. We said, we had the halacha before in the Gemara, Rabbanan said, goys are all goyim azavas. Now, sheneku meiraglev yordo v'tav l'mau. So basically a regular goy who became a giyoris and had meiraglaim within her. And it was nekar. Intim tzloim abos hakiraz linon, af agav the motzi noket lahu. Maybe even though she could withhold it, hani mili Yisraelis. Maybe you say the reason why it's metamer because it's a really strong tumah. Her whole ziva is only a derabbanon concept, and memela she shouldn't become tummy from it. There's no difference between a guy and a Jew. Teiku. And ziva is metama b'mashuhu. With nothing, there's no shear. Omar Shmuel, Now we're talking about a sugi rabboisai. Remember, we're not talking about a balkari here. We're talking about a zov. Zov tzarech kechasimas piyama. We're going to be discussing keri halfway down the amud. Now we're talking about a ziva. What's the shear of a ziva? The Mishnah says kolshu. Comes Shmuel and says not kolshu. Kechasimas piyama. If it plugs up the aver, that's how much it is. Shenemar oy hichtim b'sorei mizoyva. It says hichtim. It's some sort of seal. It has to seal the amo. What do you do with the Mishnah? He asks who to be Samich on the sign. Rabbi Nassan Omer, Mishum Rabbi Shmuel, Zov Tzorch Kechasimas Pio Amo. Nobody agreed to him. He's not even in the Mishnah. My time is Rabbi Shmuel. Doma Kro Oy Hechtim Besorim Mizoyvoi.
We've seen before that Kolshu doesn't always mean Kolshu.
No, so there's Negia and Re'iyah. No, we had Kolshu is one thing, and then we had Negia is that I explained to you yesterday, and the Gemara says before here. The Mishnah says in Re'iyah that a Zava, Niddah, Zav, all those emissions are B'cholshu. That's the Mishnah. We discussed yesterday in the beginning of the Amud of Kadasha, and Rashi brings this Gemara of Chasimas Piyama. But that's Negia. V'Rabbanon, so the Gemara just repeats the same pause again. Oyechtim b'sar mizav. V'Rabbanon ahu miboilei lach metame vein metame yovesh. Rabbanon say this hoy hichtim, it has to seal to tell me that zera is only metame if somebody touches it when it's liquid and not when it's solid. How do you see it from the words hoy hichtim?
Not true.
How do you see from what do you mean it's not true?
When it dries up, it gets harder.
So how do you see from this pasuk hoy hichtim that it has to seal? So Rashi says beautifully, the nafil.
Which Russia?
Top fourth line. Rashi says if it's hard, it won't create a seal or fall off. So the fact that the Torah says seal, the Torah is talking about lach. V'Rebbi Shmuel, ahu miror nafka. So here's the pasuk. V'zois tia tumasoi bezoivoi ror besoiroi. Ror besoiroi means the Torah is saying when it runs, his ziva is running. Oi hichtim besoiroi mezoivoi. Or it seals it. So there's two things the Torah says. So ror means running. Running means that it's liquid. Rabbanan ahu liminyanu dasa. So Rabbanan say no. I need that word ror to tell me a count. That what? How do you know how many times Re'i is? We take it for granted. A Zav becomes Tameh. After 2 times, he's a Zav Gomer. And after 3 times, he's a Zav Gomer, plus he has to bring a carbon. How do I know that he has to bring a carbon? Because we have 3 times here. Bezoistia Tumasa Bizoiva is 1. Rar Besara is 2, so the Rar is not extra Sechachamim. As Zoiva is 3. 1, 2, 3 equals the next pasuk, bring a carbon. Aholim yanu das zoyve chada ror besar trei ez zoyve klas limit azov bal sholish ris shechayev bekorban oy hechten besaroi. What does that mean? It's like comes in the middle of nowhere. Says Rashi, oy hechten besaroi comes to teach us that has to be lach. So here, oy hechten besaroi, this can oy hechten, the concept of lach. So this teaches us 1, 2, 3 zivois oy hechten. It has to be liquid. And now the pasuk continues. Mizoivai, what's the next one? Mizoivai tamei, or more accurately, mizoivai tumasayu, mikta zoivai tamei, mizoivai. So you see, it says over here, mizoivai, from his ziva mem, meaning 1, 2, 3, and then you have mizoivai from the 1, 2, 3, meaning only 2 is also metame. 1, 2, 3. You bring a carbon. 1, 2, you're talking like everything. In other words, you can't, mizoivoy cannot mean that he's like 1, 2, 3. Because then just do 2. 2 riyas is enough. So obviously there has to be some sort of distinction between 3 riyas and 2 riyas. 3 riyas you bring a carbon, 2 riyas you're complete zav.
What about 1?
What?
What about 1?
Oh, 1, very good. 1, you're about carry. You're very weak tumah. And that's certainly not what we're talking about. When we say zoivai, we're talking about a zav. 1, we said always, he has a halacha of balkari. Goes to the mikveh right away. He's metama b'maga. he doesn't have the same strength as a real Zav. So obviously the Torah, when it says Mizoivai, wasn't jumping back to one Riyah. Thanks, Judah. So Mela, it teaches me that even 2 Riyos, he's still very Tameh, like a regular Zav. He just doesn't have to bring a carbon. How does Rabbi Shmuel know 2 and 3? Nafkalei, the Rabbi Simoy, the sign Rabbi Simoy Oimer, Bona Kosev Shtayim Vikari Tameh. Shalosh Vikari Tameh. What's going on here? Okay, Tzad. One pasuk says 2 tumos, another pasuk says 3 tumos, so we have to explain why one pasuk 2 and one pasuk 3. So it's exactly what we just discussed. A zav becomes tamei after 2 times, and a zav that brings a carbon after 3 times. Here, so here's how it works, based on Rashi. Rashi says that the pasuk right before says ish kiya zav mibsaroi. That's 1. Zovek tamei is 2. 1, 2. That's one pasuk. That's pasuk beis. Vayikra perik tezvav pasuk beis. Then we have over here, this pasuk is Vayikra tezvav pasuk gimel. The following pasuk has this right over here. So this is 3. Says Rabbi Shmuel, I'm sorry, not the same one. This one. Bezoy stia tumasoi bezoy is 1. Ror besara is 2. And as Zoiva is 3. 1, 2, 3 according to Rabbi Shmuel in this pasuk, and 2 in this pasuk. Memela, Rabbi Shmuel has the extra word rar, and that's where he learns lach. Okay, it's Ashtayim Latum Shlosh the carbon. Ulaman de nafka, in other words, according to Chachamim. Ulaman de nafka the tarvayim is oistia tu matzoi. Look. We said that according to Chachamim, they learn everything from one pasuk. They learn 1, 2, 3, and 2. Why? From the word mizoivai. Am I looking at the wrong thing here? Yeah. This one. Fine. Lo mishaneh. Shitas Chachamim, it says here. They learn 2 concepts. The concept of a zav that has to bring a carbon, and the concept of a zav after 2, from the word mizoiv. So in Mela, this pasuk is completely extra. Rabbi Shmuel that learns from this pasuk 2, and they already learned it from this pasuk. What do they do with these drushes over here? So the Gemara, Laman and after tarvayu mizoistia tu masi bezoiboy ish ki ezov mimsori my overlay. Miboyle achayetze mibisara here. Mibisara, it has to come out completely. Zoivetame lamali. So what do I need? The final drush of Rabbi Shmuel. Limed al azoiv shu tame. The actual ziva, if somebody touches it, tame. So that's the parasha of Ziva. Zok Gemara. Now we're talking about Keri. Orav Chaniloi. Rishum Rebbe Lozav Rebbe Shimon. Shich vazera leroya b'mashu lenegea b'chadasho. What seemed to be pashat yesterday, or not so pashat, here it is. When it comes to a re'iyah, an emission coming from a person's guf, that I don't need a shear. It's like Niddah. A Niddah doesn't need a shear of dam. Anything is metama. Any zera that comes out of a zav, or any ziva, I should say, that comes out of a zav, is b'mashu, and a balkari zera that comes out of a balkari is b'mashu. However, if you were to touch the zera, somebody else, nothing to do with the balkari, another person in the street went over and touched it, then it needs a shear. What is the shear? B'chadasho. But we learned in the Mishnah that the mitama b'cholshu my lab l'negeya loy l'roya. You would think simply that the Mishnah is talking about even a person that comes on and touches it. No, a person that touches it, it needs to be chadasha. The Mishnah that says kolshu is talking about the person that had the emission, he doesn't need a shear. Toshma loy l'roya, yeah. Toshma choyme b'shich v'zera b'sheretz. The Brisa makes a comparison between zera and a sheretz. That on one hand, the zera is more chomer than sheretz. V'choyme b'sheretz b'shich v'zera. On the other hand, the sheretz is more chomer. Choyme b'sheretz sheretz in chalukah tu masoi. A sheretz, there's no distinction in the tumah. In other words, a baby sheretz is tamei. A large sheretz, a fat sheretz, doesn't matter. They're always tamei. Mashe ein kein b'shich v'zera. Shich v'zera, as the Gemara is going to explain, under 9 years old is not tamei at all. It doesn't make the child tamei either. Choyme b'shikva zera, shikva zera mitame b'chol shuhu. We have a chumrah by shikva zera that it's mitame b'chol shuhu mashe ein kein b'sheretz. So I want to make a distinction between zera and a sheretz. I say that it's sheretz, you need a shear, and in zera you don't need a shear. So memela is more chomer. My lav than negea. L'chayra, if I want to make a comparison to a sheretz, so I have to say the comparison is a negiyah because sheretz is negiyah. Sheretz, there's no re'iyah in sheretz. Nobody ever emits a sheretz from the guf. You're touching a sheretz. So you want to make a comparison between zera and sheretz. You say zera is b'kolshu, and the sheretz is b'chadasha, meaning in negiyah. So it's a great raya that negiyah doesn't need a shear like Rabbi Chanelai says. Loi l'roya. V'dumi the sheretz katani. But wait a minute, you're trying to make a comparison. Ma sheretz b'negiyah, ashich zera b'negiyah. So we want to make a good nafkamina between them, so they have to be similar in that category. There is a nafkamina between a sheretz and zera, not in the complete, not exactly the same, not in Giyah, but the nafkamina would be in zera, it's b'kol shehu b'ri'iyah, and in sheretz it's b'chadasha negiyah. I want to tell you a nafkamina. I have a case called zera. It's more chomer than sheretz. How? I could touch it b'chol shu and I'm tamei. How? B'ri'iyah. Why is that not a good? Why give me a face? And a sheretz, the only way to become a sheretz in all situations in the world is b'chadasha. So memela zera is more chomer.
I'm not giving you a face. The Gemara gave you a face. The Gemara said that it has to be dunya. So
Oh, you give me the Gemara's face.
Yeah.
You're just helping out the Gemara. Okay, fine. Now I understand.
He's facing you with the Tam the Gemara.
What changed between the Havamina and this? It's something the Gemara saying no.
I just explained the kasha really strong. Sorry. No, I hear it. I hear it beautifully. In terms of chumras, if I want to say this object is more chumra than this object has the ability to be metame b'chol shu. Yes, in a different situation in Raya, but it has the ability. And the sheretz never has the ability to be metame b'chol shu because it's only b'chadasha. So this is more chumra. You're right, it's not exactly the same case. One is Riyah and one is Negiyah, but I still have the ability. I could hear it. What do you mean? How do you even say that sheretz? I have a great case that a sheretz does have the case of mashu. What about a limb of a sheretz? A little frog, or whatever you want to call a sheretz, a little mouse, it's his whole leg. Now a leg of a mouse is for sure less than a kezayis. You have less than a lentil of meat, and you see that you don't need that shear. What's the pshat in adasha? Adasha is pshat. It's chashiv. It has chashivas. So an aver has chashivas. But the point is, the ilu chasa purta aver mikom etamya. Even if a tiny drop, a small amount of the aver was missing, the limb is missing, it wouldn't be metamya because then it loses its chashivas. So you see that it's not kol shu. It's not like zera. Zera mamish a kol shu is metamya. What does it mean that shikha zera sometimes is tummy, sometimes not? You say a goy zera is not metamo. Sometimes you have a mouse, a sea mouse, whatever that means. A sea mouse. It's not metamo, it's sheretz. Whatever kind of creature, I couldn't find what it was exactly. We might have had a picture once, like a weasel, like some sort of what are they called? A beaver. Not a beaver. Once we had a beaver, but an otter. There you go. An otter. Something like an otter. It's an achber diyam. It's not matamo. It's not a sheretz. Elo bein cotton legadol. Like we said before, a cotton under the age of 9, his zera is not matamo b'chlam. On Rapapa, I was just curious when I was reading it. Is the pshat it's not matamo because it's not roila zriya? I don't know the circumstances. Maybe the zera is not zera. Maybe it's not a good raya. I had sort of a kash. It's not roila bia, so maybe it's not zera. And that's why it's not matama. It's not nothing to do with the age. But maybe not. Maybe it is royal azri. I don't know.
Today, there are katana ben.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's true. Everything is different today. Anyways.
Mishnah says culture by Yom Tov. Any animal in the sea.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's not matama.
That you're talking about the otter. Yeah. Okay. We have a minute. Let's go. Omer Apapa Ketanoi. Minay l'Rabbi Snegeh b'Shikva Zera. How do you know to include Negia b'shich zera. And what the shear is? Tamad loymar oy ish. It says by the sheretz oy ish. So Gemara now is learning that oy ish is in the pasuk of sheretz, and over there it comes to include zera. Why? Because the pasuk right before that is talking about zera, and it's extra. Oy ish is extra. Upligi tanoi ba'almo. Dika damri du mino mino. Vikidamri du mino vukibasro. There's a concept in Shas. I learn one thing from something else. We have some sort of a chart here. It's very small from Ruvain. Basically, we're trying to learn zera from sheret because I learned from sheret. But what's the shear? Now du mino umina. I continue learning from sheret. So I'll learn two things. You see the 2 hours. If you don't see anything, just see the 2 hours. I learn one halacha that's mitame b'mago. And how much also? Dumina, umina. I have to learn two things. Or no, dumina, I learned from it one thing only, that it's Tommy b'imago. How much? Uki ba'asru. That I'm going to learn from myself. From zera itself is always b'mashu. The re is b'mashu, so negi is also mashu. So therefore, I'm learning one thing over here. I'm learning mitam b'imago. I learned from sheretz. How do I know sheretz? The zera is mitam b'imago? From sheretz. One arrow. How much? I learned from zera itself. Uki ba'asra, I learned from itself. Dumino mino ve'ikidamri dumino v'uki ba'asra. Some say no. You only learn one halacha from sheretz, and the rest you learn from zera itself. Lemando dumino mino. You learn two halachas from it. Masheretz b'negia, avshich zera b'negia. That's one halacha. Umino, how much? Masheretz b'chadasho, avshich zera b'chadasho. And I learn also a second halacha, the amount. Well, lemando dumino v'uki ba'asra. Masher has been a gia, zera been a gia. I learn one halacha that negia works by zera. Vuki basra, but how much? Masher zera leroya b'mashu. In another case called roya, I know that it's even a tiny drop. Aflu negeya, the other case, our case of touching is also b'mashu. Amalei Ravuna b'rei Rav Nosson Rav Papa. B'may d'ma'oy ish the sheretz kamar bila. Who told you the ma'oy ish that you heard is referring to the pasuk of sheretz? Dil ma'oy ish asher teitzim ben ashich zera that says the same exact words by zera. At the end of the day, learn everything from zera. In other words, that even b'mashu. So they asked around people. Some said no, you learn it out from sheret. Some said you learn it out from zera. And is negeya, you touch zera b'chadash or b'mashu.